Hello fellow miners and welcome to another episode from Spice Mines Gaming. Today's episode I have one goal in mind, and that is to take care of something that I have been needing to do for a long time. Well, ever since I built this contraption here, this gigantic cactus farm tower. What I need to do is I have an incredible surplus of cactus green dye. And it's only going to get worse from here on out. And if you come over here to these double chests, I've got this one almost halfway full and this one completely full. I've also got like one or two double chests back at the shop in the shopping district full. And I've also got a double chest mostly full in my house. So this stuff is overflowing. And we're building up cactus here. This stuff here is already filled up, and this is the overflow, and it's getting ready to spill over into this hopper and work its way on up. So, what I need to do in this episode is build a hopper clock-powered incinerator. And what this is going to do is it's going to let me put in a little chest right here a bunch of these cactus dyes, and it's just going to feed down into a dropper. And that dropper is going to push them out into a little lava pit. And it's going to continually do that over and over and over again until it runs out. And once the hopper is empty, not the hopper, but the dropper. Once the dropper is empty, then the circuit's going to turn off and wait for more input. So that's what I'm going to try to accomplish today, is to get this taken care of. So that way I can get rid of junk in a very efficient way. Now, I was going to work on a different form of incinerator that was admittedly more comical, but it just wasn't practical for this particular application. Unfortunately, it was just a little too slow to be able to handle the load that I need to give it. And this thing's going to take quite a bit of stuff and just get rid of it for me. So I will never have to deal with it again. Alright, that should be everything I need. If I need anything else, well, I've got my chest here with all my goods. So I've got a picture here on the corner of my computer screen, which unfortunately you can't see that right now, but you're going to see what the final product is going to look like, because it's going to be almost identical to what I've got in the picture. So here's how this is going to work. Let's go ahead and start with that right there, and then come over here to the dropper, because everything is going to be built around this dropper and this lava pit. This is pretty much the operation is going to be right here. And so now let's take these hoppers and let's go ahead and build these up, because this is what's going to feed the dropper. Let me put another one there, and that's it. And then I need to put a chest right here, and that right there is going to be the input where I'm going to put these cactus green, or cactus dye green, cactus green. Let's just call them cactus greens. We're going to put those in here. They're going to feed through here into this dropper. And once they're in here, they're just going to sit there. So we need a redstone impulse, or pulse, sorry, to come into here and shoot these items into this lava to get rid of it. And that's what we're going to accomplish today. There, we got that. And so this is actually a relatively simple contraption to make. If you watch and follow along, you can make one of these on your own. And so what we got to have here is we need a redstone signal. Let me get my redstone dust here. I won't need these hoppers just yet. We need a redstone signal coming into the side of that. And then from there, we're going to need a comparator that's pointing in this direction here. And I'll show you here in a little bit why. Because what we're going to do is we're going to take these hoppers, and that's okay. This is tricky how you have to do this. So you place one down so it points to the ground, and you place the next one in the side so that it points into this hopper. Now you got to take this hopper up and then point it in at that thing right there. So they just feed back and forth to one another. Now what happens is whenever you get an item that cannot stack, like golden horse armor, something else that, isn't used. See, notice, it's going back and forth, and this comparator determines that there's something in there, so it sends out a small pulse, and activates this dropper. If we put something in this dropper, let me go grab something. You'll see how this works. And why not start with, let's just do 3, just for now. Let's come over here to this dropper, toss that in. See, now we just got rid of those. But I don't want this thing, I mean, that right there is all you have to do, technically. You don't need anything else. You're done. But I don't want this thing running all the time. It's not going to hurt anything if it does, but, you know, I'd kind of like the idea of it being able to smartly turn off, be intelligent. So, what we're going to do is we're going to take that out, and we're going to add another redstone signal into the back of this to stop it. So whenever the signal comes in, well, it's going to be a little further out this way. When the signal comes this way and powers this hopper is no longer going to operate. So I'm going to need a stone block. Any block will do, I think, just as long as the redstone signal can be, so as long as it can be powered by redstone signal, it'll do. And then we're going to come out here, and then we're going to go back that way. And then right here, I'm going to need to put a torch, because I have to invert the signal. See, right now, since there's no signal coming in, then this is going to be turned on. So what I need next is a repeater and a comparator. So we need the comparator here. So let's add that here. And then I need, okay, I actually might, hang on. Oh, I got this in the wrong spot. My bad. Let me back this up just a little bit. I put that in the wrong spot. Okay, now let's get back here, and then I'll take this one up. I need to back this up. Okay, I'll need the room, because this area I've cut out is exactly the size of area I need to do this. So there's no margin for error here. Okay, now we're back to here. So next thing I need is a repeater, and the repeater needs to point the other way. I always get confused how these get laid here. Okay, put those there. Now what I need is to bring this signal in this way. Now when this thing has a signal coming in, which means it's got stuff in it, it's going to put a redstone signal out this way, which is going to actually deactivate this circuit. Because these torches, when placed on the side of a block like that, they invert the signal that's coming in. And so what we're going to do here is let's go ahead and put this back in there. So it's now going back and forth, but it stops here because this is now powered. When this is powered, this hopper will not transfer. Now, what I need to do next, since this is pretty much the circuit completely done. This is, again, phase 2. Phase 1 is just this right here. You got a clock, you got your comparator, and it's powering your dropper. Phase 2 is this kind of shut-off circuit. So let's test to make sure this works. Let's grab some more of this cactus green. Let's just grab 4 pieces. And I will get it ready here. And then there's one more little branch of the circuit we're going to add here in just a little bit. And that'll be pretty much it for this thing here. Okay, so now, since that hopper had an item in it, it output a signal this way, and then inverts would turn this off. Or then inverted, this would turn off, allowing the hopper to then transfer. Now when the item transfers to this hopper, it sends out a signal to activate the dropper. Now when this dropper doesn't have anything in it, this no longer sends out a signal, and then this inverts that no signal into a signal, which then powers this, halting that horse armor. That's essentially how that works. Now the other thing I need to do is I want this thing to be able to shut off whenever I want it to. Say I fill this thing up and it's just running. I don't need to shut it off, but again, it's just one little feature I can add just in case. I want to add a little lever over here next to this chest, like that. And then I want to come down here and come off of this. And I think right here I'm going to need a repeater. And then I'm going to go this way and up these blocks. If I can get up here. There we go. And this is going to go right to there, to the back side of this lever. Now when I turn that, okay, I think that shouldn't be, yes, okay. Now that should send a signal. I got confused there for a moment. That should send a signal in, and so that powers this block. So let's see what happens when you add something to the dropper with that lever switched right there. Flipping it down sends the redstone signal, which technically means off, because it powers this, which stops the clock. So it's off. And notice, nothing is being fed into the lava. But if we come up here, and we turn this to the on position, there you go. You hear it. All 4 of those cactus grains were just dispensed. And it's empty. Just like that. That is a very simple hopper clock powered incinerator. And so now let's put this thing into action. Let's grab 8 of these. Just for the fun of it. And put it to the test. Alright, let's hop down here and watch how this is working. And now it's dispensing or disposing of these cactus greens. See, as they're coming in, it's filling up. But we can actually speed this up a little bit. Since that circuit is just basically going off on, off on, off on, let's turn this off right here. That'll stop the dropper and stop the clock. And now this thing can fill up. Now if we turn it back on, it should go just a tiny bit faster, though it's going to be negligible. There, see, now it's more regular. And there you go. That is how you get rid of a bunch of stuff without just, I mean, you could easily just walk up to lava and just throw a whole bunch of stuff in the lava, but this is a little more elegant. That's how I like to put it. This is a little more elegant. So let's just go ahead and fill that in right there. Since we don't need to get back there anymore, or shouldn't, and if we can't, if I do, then no big deal. I'll just open it up. But there you go. That right there is a hopper clock incinerator. Let me know what you think. In my Uncut Survival series, I'm going to be designing a slightly different, actually no, it's not slightly different, it's very different. A very different incinerator. And so if you're watching that series, keep an eye out and you'll find, or you'll see my my new incinerator. It's much more simple than this, and it's far more entertaining to watch. So there's you a teaser right there. All right, well, I can easily walk away from this because it's just going to get rid of all this cactus green for me, which is exactly what I want to do. And that right there is all I had planned for this episode. It's going to be a little short, but you know, it's accomplishing everything that I need to get done. It's what I wanted to do. I wanted to get that done so that I can take care of all this stuff piling up. And I'm going to have a lot more junk to deal with later, so that can handle whatever I throw at it. Anything that go in a hopper, or that can go in that dropper, is going to get disposed of. And that's exactly what I wanted to accomplish. So, on that note, it is time to wrap up this episode. I hope you enjoyed watching it. Perhaps you learned something new. Perhaps you didn't. Perhaps you know of something better to do. If you want, show me your incinerator that you've got built. I would be interested in knowing what you've built. But until then, thank you very much for watching. Be sure that you tap or click that like button to show you enjoyed the video. And also, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. Thank you very much for watching and have a wonderful day. Goodbye.